Okay, welcome to Unit 7 test review over polygons. Number 1, interior and exterior. This question is asking the sum of the interior angles for a 13gon. Well, when a shape is called a number and then gon, that instantly tells us that n is 13. And just as a reminder, n represents the number of sides on a polygon. So if our number of sides is 13, we're going to use the formula for the sum of the interior angles. So that's all interior angles added together. We will use the formula n minus 2 times 180. Sorry. Thank you. Okay, so n minus 2 times 180, we got 13 minus 2 times 180. 13 minus 2 is 11. Times 180 is 1980. Number 2, if one interior angle, so it says only one interior angle is 140 degrees, how many sides does this polygon have? So here we're looking for n, the number of sides. I will show you a quick way to do this and then a long way to do this. So quick way to do this is, so if we have a shape where here, this is our shape, this is one of the angles of our shape, and it says the interior angle is 140 degrees. If we can find the exterior angle, then we can divide that exterior angle from 360 and find n. So if this is a straight line, what is the exterior angle? The exterior angle will be 40, because it does add up to 180. So if we have 180 minus 140, we get 40 for that exterior angle. And then we will say 360 divided by the exterior angle will give us n. So in this case, n is 9. Alright, if we wanted to do the algebraic way, we could say n minus 2 times 180 equals the interior angle. So here we don't know n, that's what we're looking for. And our interior angle is 140. So we would distribute that 180. So we'd have 180n minus 360 equals 140. Oh, I think I forgot something. This was supposed to be divided by n. So when we're dividing by n, we'd have to multiply n on both sides first. There we go. So we'd have, oops. We'd have 180 n minus 360 equals 140n. So we would subtract the 180n. And we'd have negative 360 equals, what is that, negative 40n. And then divide by negative 40 to get our 9. Ow! Okay, so for number 3, okay, for number 3, what is the measure of one exterior angle of a regular dodecagon? All right, so a dodecagon is 12. So n here is 12. There are 12 sides. Now, if n is 12, we'll be using the same formula from number 2. So we'll say, since we're looking for one exterior angle, we'll say 360 divided by n, which is 12, and that'll give us our exterior angle. 360 divided by 12 is 30, which is our exterior angle. All right. Number 4, if the measure of an exterior angle in a regular polygon is 36 degrees, so this is one exterior angle, how many sides does it have? So again, we're looking for n. So if the exterior angle is 36, we can say 360 divided by 36. And that'll give us n, which is 10. All right, moving on to number 5. In trapezoid LMNO, what is the measure of angle M and angle O? This problem actually doesn't need a lot of math. So in a trapezoid, the bottom two angles are the same and the top two angles are the same. So that means angle O is 70 degrees. And we need to solve to find angle M. So we know that the two left or two right angles in a trapezoid add up to 180, or all four angles add up to 360. So two different ways you could do this. I'll do first way and second way. You pick one, you don't have to write them both. First way, we'd say 180 minus 70, which would leave us with 110 for angle M. Now the second way would be to say 70 times 2, which is 140, and then subtract that from 360, which would give us 220, and then we would divide that by 2 to get each individual angle, 110. So both of these ways are acceptable. Obviously, the first way is a little bit faster, but it really just depends on how you look at the problem. If you look at this problem and the first thing you thought was, oh, all four angles add up to 360, I can do this, then do it that way. That's fantastic, okay? If you looked at it like I did and saw the quick way, that's great too. A lot of the things in this unit are very much choose your adventure type things. Okay, number 6. In trapezoid ABCD, solve for x when angle D is 18x minus 8. And angle C is 13x minus 12. Sorry, plus 12. What do we know about these two angles? They're equal, they're congruent. So we're going to say 18x minus 8 equals 13x plus 12. We subtract the smaller x from the larger x, so that's going to be 13. And then whichever side we didn't move something from, we move something from that side. So 18 minus 13 is 5, 6, 7, 8, 5x. And 5x equals 20. Divide by 5. X equals 4. The question said solve for x, and we did that. All right, number 7. What is the value of x and y? Well, x here, yeah, y is 21. We know that because these two sides have the same markings. And x and 33 have the same markings. So no math needed. Y is 21, x is 33. Number 8. What is the value of A and B in the following kite? Well, just by looking at this kite, I know that the kite is exactly the same on both sides when it's split down the middle like that. So what angle is also 105? A, right? So A is 105 because these angles are the same. And if you're wondering, how do they know that? How do you know that those angles are the same? Pull out your foldable. Look at your foldable. Hopefully you colored it like I asked you to a billion times. And you can look at your kite and see that the left and right angles are the same color, which means they're the same. They're congruent. The top and bottom angles are different colors. So the top and bottom angles are not the same. So in this question, B is not 31. But what do all four angles in a polygon add up to? 360. So if we add all the angles together and subtract from 360, we can get that missing angle B. I got 241. 360 minus 241, 119. Correct. So B is 119 degrees. All right, number 9. Find the value of x, y, and z in the following parallelogram. Well, just by looking at this, I already know what z is. What's z? Z is 68. All right, let's look at everything else. Let's do y. What do we know about these two sides? zy and 4y plus 1. They're congruent. The top and bottom of a parallelogram are congruent. So we can say zy equals 4y plus 21 and solve for y. So we subtract the 4y from both sides. It's 7y. Did I say zy? Okay. All right, so y is 7. Now for x. It says here that this angle is 3x and this angle is 45. Looking at your foldable, what do we know about the two opposite angles in a parallelogram? The opposite angles are congruent. So we can say 3x equals 45 and solve for x. So x equals 15. Number 10, find the value of x in the following parallelogram. Well, both our sides here have the same marking, so they're already telling us in the picture that both sides are the same or congruent. So we're going to set these equal to each other and solve for x. We subtract the smaller x from the bigger x. So in number 10, x equals 10.5. And number 11, what is the measure of angle DAB? Okay, so now we're in the squares section. So let's look at the squares section of our foldable on the back side. So we're looking for measure of angle DAB. What are all four angles in a square? What are they each? 90. Good. All angles in a square are 90 degrees. So DAB is 90. What if they were asking for the measure of angle DAC? What if they were looking for this portion? It wouldn't be 90. So originally we were looking for DAB, which was 90. But if they were only looking for half of that, it would be 45. Because in a square, the diagonals split that 90 degree in half. Yes. All right, number 12. If AB is 13, what is the length of DC and AC? So here we have DC and AC, and it tells us that AB is 13. So if AB is 13, what is DC? DC is 13. The sides would all be 13, but the diagonals will be different. So what we can do to find the diagonal would be to use the Pythagorean theorem. So here, we're going to focus on this highlighted pink right triangle. So we will say 13 squared plus 13 squared equals c squared, which is our AC. 13 times 13 is 169. 169 plus 169 is 338. Next up, we would take the square root of both sides to get C. And the square root of 338, when we simplify that, we look for a perfect square that multiplies into that. We just did that. 13 squared was half of 338. So I know 169 times 2 will get us 338. Square root of 169 is 13. So our answer here is 13 square roots of 2 for A, C. All right, number 13. What is the value of x when the measure of angle FHS is 3x plus 9? This is still a square, so what's the measure of this angle? 90. So we're going to say 90 equals 3x plus 9. So we'll solve for x by subtracting 9 from both sides. So x equals 27. Number 14, what is the value of x? So this question is kind of confusing because it looks like that it's pointing to the whole 90-degree angle, but it's pointing to the 45-degree angle. It's pointing to half of that 90. So this is 45 and this is 45, right? So we're going to say 4x minus 3 equals 45. We will solve for x. First start by adding 3 to both sides. And then divide by 4. And we are almost done. Woo! Our last section is going over rhombuses, or I guess if you want to say it correctly, rhombi. You rhombi, we rhombi. All right, so in this section, we're given a rhombi with some information on it, or a rhombus, sorry. And then we're going to answer the questions on 15 through 18. So first off, I see that this portion of the diagonal is 12. So that means all my other diagonals, well, at least this one is 12. Okay. If this side over here is 15, that means all of my sides are 15. Now, if this angle here is 62, I know that angle is split in half, so they are both 62. And the bottom two angles are also 62. So right now, we're just filling in the information we know from the information provided. All right. Number 15 says, what is the length of BC? We already filled that in. BC is 15. What is the length of AC? It is 24, 12 times 2. Number 17, what is the measure of angle BCE? Okay, BCE. Let's start with that one. What did you say it was? 27. I got 28. Should be 28. Let's see. So if we focus on this triangle right here, we know that the inside is a right right angle. So we have 90 and 62. 90 and 62. So if we say 90 plus 62, we get 152. Then we can subtract that from a triangle's total measurement, which is 180. So measure of angle BCE is 28 degrees. Now for the measure of angle ABE. Let's go figure that one out. So ABE. ABE. Oh, we already wrote that one. It's 62. We wrote in all the information at the beginning from what was given to what the angle, what matches the information given. So if that angle that was given to us was 62, the one next to it is also 62, and the ones at the bottom here are all 62. So when it's asking for angle ABE, we're looking for this one right here, which was 62. What? No, 28 is right here. BCE. So this angle is 28, which means this angle is 28. On the left and right sides, but now it's looking for ABE, which is on the top there, which we said was 62. Yes, the three letters direct you where to begin and where to end. So if the three letters says BCE, we start at B, we go to C, we go to E. So we know the angle in between those letters is what they're referring to. And then when they said ABE, we follow the direction of A to B to E, and that's this angle right here. And lastly, number 18, what is the length of ED? Do we have this one yet? ED. So this is a side, so we need to focus on the triangle. We have a triangle like this, where the hypotenuse is 15 and one of the legs is 12, and they're looking for this side here. So we're going to say A, B, C, and use the Pythagorean theorem. So A squared plus 12 squared equals 15 squared. 12 times 12 is 144, and 15 times 15 is 225. We subtract the 144 from the 225. We get A squared equals 81. Then we take the square root. So A equals 9. So ED equals 9. All right.